Hi everyone, I'm here at the Capitol in Sacramento. We just had a health freedom rally and I met a wonderful woman and she's going to share her story about vaccines and why she's here today. So I'm going to turn the camera around and let her explain.
Hi. Well, we took a nice drive from where we live to come here today because it is very important to be here. Being part of this movement has changed my life and those around me. It's opened eyes to even my parents.
Because you have a very personal vaccine story.
I do. My brother, his name is Jeffrey. It was quite a crazy life. He is autistic, and he'll be 44 in September. He lives in a home with a couple of other men, and he's cared for in that home.
24/7 care, right?
24/7 care. He cannot talk. He needs help with everything. He will never work a job, never get married, never have kids. He is very active for a 44. He's almost like a child. He runs around like a child. Anyway, the reason why I'm aware of this whole movement is because of him. When I was around the time of having a child of my own, I decided to research what had happened with him. And am I going to have a child, unfortunately, like him? I mean, I love him and all, but it was a rough life. And to have that life again and to raise a child was really frightening. So I went online and I just went and searched autism, basically, and what caused it. So many parents were saying how their child had these changes happen somewhere around under 2 years old, and it was fevers. It was really bad diarrhea, uncontrollable screaming, hand flapping. It sounded like my parents' story to the T. And I asked my parents when I got all this together, all this info, because they had no idea that vaccines could have been the culprit. They had no idea. I actually opened their eyes to it years later. And they believe it. They believe this is what happened because back in the 70s, mid-70s, they didn't even have a term to diagnose him. He was told he was schizophrenic. He was told that he was deaf. List goes on and on. Went to so many doctors, so many scans to get the diagnosis that he is autistic. So all these years, it's like something just decided to waken me, and I don't know whether it was something spiritual or what, but something made me decide to look and research. And because of all the information I've gathered from all the other parents, and I read all the ingredients, all the side effects, I decided I'm not going to vaccinate my own children. I am not going to vaccinate my own children. I do not believe that it's something for our family. Whether it's a genetic factor on what had happened, that's what I've kind of have learned along the way here with the MTHFR gene.
There are thousands of genes that could cause the same thing.
But all I do know is my son is so healthy. No problems, just a couple colds maybe. He just turned 2. He's so healthy. And it was a traumatic life. My brother had pretty much turned my parents' home upside down because of, he's a big man, and they were caring for him when he was 36 years old. So when he turned 36, my brother, you can't keep an eye on him every moment. So he went out to the front yard, and in a matter of a couple seconds, I mean, this happened in a matter of maybe seconds or minutes, he was urinating on the front steps of my parents' property. And an officer went by, saw that, broke our gate down, chain link fence, came on in, took him in the police car up to the station, and he went there, and I went up to try to get him back home, and they wouldn't let me bring him home. So he went to a psychiatric facility, went on a 72-hour hold where they gave him drugs to sleep. And we went up there more than plenty to try to get him back home, and they wouldn't. They kept him on the hold the whole time. And then we had somebody come to our home after he had came back and wanted to talk to my parents, and obviously a case was created because of this. And we didn't know. We thought he was there for the better of my parents to help out, but actually he was against. He was trying to become my brother's conservator and take over everything.
And I think many people don't understand that the state makes a lot of money, federal money, when they become conservators of. It's happening a lot with elderly people as well now. And yes,
we went through hell and back because we went to court for over 2 years, my mom and dad, and they're both handicapped. Well, when this man came to the house, he wanted to see my brother, and he had to get awoken from a nap. He took naps random times of the day, and my parents brought him outside, and he bolted out the gate. So my father, thinking he was doing the right thing, called 911 to try to help him bring him back home. Mind you, I wasn't living. I go there, but I wasn't there at the time. I was at work. So the officer came over, or got my brother, brought him back in, and told my parents we have to take him. So he went on another 72-hour hold back up to the psych ward, same place. And then it just got uglier from there. That's when the court, took over everything and made my parents out to look like they were the worst people ever.
Snatched him.
The state basically, snatched him. It was regional center, Easter Seals type place that got involved in all this.
I'm so sorry.
And so he's living in a home that's not very close to my parents. We have to go out of our way. And they gave us the right to see him, to visit with him every 3 weeks for 2 hours.
Wow.
And that is all we have. Unless I become, or somebody becomes a conservator, either my parents or I. I don't know what the steps are, but maybe one day, I don't know, I'll look into it. But he's been at that home since he was 36, and he's now 40, almost 44, so. And when we see him, he looks happy and healthy, so that's all that matters to us, He's lost a lot of weight, but he is healthy looking, and it's just very frustrating because we don't know exactly what's going on at all times because we see him so rarely.
It's such a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
So this is why you chose to keep your son vaccine free.
Absolutely, yes.
Because so many people think that it's, just based on, a celebrity or one published study from 1996, and that's definitely not it. There are so many stories and so many reasons, different reasons throughout all of the people who are involved with this movement.
I've heard so many, and because of all the info put out there online, like Learn the Risk, your information, I wouldn't know, that's part of it that helped me to learn and educate. And I take that and I educate others, and that's all I can do. All my coworkers, they must think I'm crazy, but I don't care. I talk about it.
Thank you for being brave, and thank you for being a voice for your brother.
I am, because he
doesn't
can't
have
talk.
one.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.